Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this Acer laptop. Alright, so this is an Acer Aspire F5-573 series. Alright, the actual model is actually F5-573G-56CD. Alright, so we're going to use a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver to remove all the screws from the bottom. You want to keep all the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that is I put them flat side down like this on my desk in the pattern I remove them. Okay, there are a lot of screws, so keep that in mind. Alright, so I'm going to put these two and these two in a separate row. I like to just do it by rows, not so much in the same exact pattern. Whatever helps you figure it out. But that works for me, so I do those 4 like that, and then we got 4 here, so I'll do those 4. Okay, hopefully you get the idea, but again, just do whatever works for you, whatever helps you remember, and that's how you do it. Alright, so we got these 4 here. Okay, there we go. Then we got one here. This actually holds the CD or optical drive in place. Okay, so if all you're trying to do is remove the CD drive or optical drive, you only need to remove that one screw. I don't know if the customer mixed screws up, but that screw ended up being longer than the rest, which I feel is kind of weird, right? It looks like they don't have an actual optical drive. It's just a phony thing, taking a slot in there. If they actually have the connector, you actually can put a second hard drive adapter in there. Okay, there are 3 screws hidden over here, so we'll remove those as well. Okay. Let's get all those 3 out, just like this. Okay, now that you got those 3 out, let's flip this. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue over here. We have another one here that was in the same row as that one, so we're going to put that over there as well. I don't know why this screw is so difficult. Again, the customer did open this on their own to clean it out, so I don't know if anything is moved out of place. Keep that in mind. Alright, I'm going to put these 4 in a row as well. Okay, again, whatever helps you remember. Okay, most of the screws do appear to be the same size and length, but again, it's always a good idea to keep all the screws in order if you can. Okay, we got another 2 screws down here, so we're going to remove those, and that looks like the rest of the screws as far as the bottom cover goes, but we do have probably more screws underneath this cover. Okay, so we got those out. Let's go ahead now and remove this cover. So I have this little opening or this little piece here, so I'm going to pull up from there just like this and kind of work your way over, and there we go, we got the bottom cover off. We'll set that aside. Okay, we got some RAM here. It looks like they upgraded it at one point, and a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive. So it looks like we can grab this and pull that over. Yep. And then it looks like this side comes out, so we're gonna tilt it up this way. Okay, just like that. And then you can go ahead and pull this out. And there's a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive. There are screws holding this bracket in place. So if you want to upgrade this, I highly recommend upgrading to a 2.5-inch SATA SSD if you can. Though it looks like there's actually also an M.2 SSD here. Let's go ahead and take that out and see if that's PCIe NVMe or SATA. Alright, so there's one screw holding that. It comes up slightly at an angle, and then you can pull this back. And there's one slot or one little notch in it, so this is most likely, yeah, NVMe. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. Alright, make sure to keep the screw with it so you know where it came from. Alright, we got 2 sticks of RAM here. I'm going to take this one out. You pull these 2 tabs to the side, it pops up. I should be zooming in for you guys. I'll try and zoom in a bit, but I have a lot of the screws and stuff all over my desk, so I'm kind of limited on space on how far I can move this. But yeah, alright, so there we go. So this is a PC4 2400R. Usually I see 2400T, but basically you can use any PC4 2400 RAM. We're going to set that aside. Let's go ahead and pop this one out as well. You don't technically have to remove the RAM to get this bottom cover out, but here you can see this is also 8 gigs, 2400 megahertz. Okay, we're going to set that aside. All right, we got a connector here. I believe this is for the speakers. The way you remove that is you go with the wings here. Again, I'm limited on space, so let me see how far I can zoom in. Maybe I can turn this upside down, and that might make it easier. Yep. Okay. So what I do is I use my fingernails here at the wings, all right, and then I kind of just wiggle this as I pull it, and there you go, pops out really easily. All right, you got the connector here for the keyboard, which is very difficult to get to because the cover's in the way. Oh, what is this plastic piece? Why is this falling off? So this is supposed to be actually, I think, from part of the cover. Sad thing is the keyboard cable does seem to be in properly, so I don't know if we can get this working. I don't know if they shorted something on their motherboard or what. All right, I do see 2 screws here hidden underneath, so let me zoom out and show you guys because we do need to remove those as well. Okay, are there any other hidden screws? I think it's just these 2, so we're gonna get these 2 screws out. Okay. All right, and now let's see if we can lift or separate the bottom cover from the palm rest. You want to be very careful because I'm pretty sure these screws here and here help hold the hinge in place, so you don't want to be too rough and then end up breaking the hinges. All right, so I'm going to do, let's see, we can get in this gap here. I'm using my fingernails just to go in here, and we're going to work our way over and go down here, and you can see it's popping up pretty easily. Okay, and then we're going to continue working our way over around the other side. Same thing. I don't know if they broke the clips or what, but this is coming out really easily. And there we go. Okay, oops, I should have zoomed out more so you can see the whole thing. There you go. Okay, and then we can just carefully lift this off, just like that. All right, and we'll set that aside. Let me see if they broke this cover here because, okay, so this piece is what pushes on that. There's a little switch in there that tells it that the bottom cover is open. And here's the keyboard connector here. This is the one I'm a little bit worried. If they damage this, maybe the power button is damaged. What we're gonna do, oh, they maybe did break that because this should not plop out like that. Okay, that's very weird. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull this cable out, and let me actually see if I can put this back in. So what's going on here, I think, did they put this upside down? I don't know how it used to be because I didn't have the computer originally. That's kind of the issue when people bring their computer to be worked on somewhere else. I don't know what it used to look like. I don't know which way it's supposed to go. So it ends up, I have to basically treat it as a puzzle and see if I can figure it out. So I'm assuming it goes this way, but I'm not sure. Okay, how does this latch mechanism work? I'm guessing they broke this piece and the keyboard wasn't connecting right. Okay, so I guess it goes like this. And what's supposed to happen, I'm pretty sure, is you pull this out. And I think the cable is supposed to go in between. So it goes, oops, you can't even see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. How do I get this? Shoot, I have too much stuff in the way. Okay. Let me move the screws over a little bit and then I'll give you guys a better close-up look. Okay. Hopefully I'll be able to give you guys a better close-up look. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. So I'll move that stuff out of my way. Okay. So let's go ahead and move this over here. All right. So here you can see this piece, they damaged it and this piece just came out. This is not supposed to come out. Here you can see how this plastic is. All right, so you have this bar. I'm pretty sure it goes on the lower part, and then this part, the extra, sticks upwards. But anyways, there's supposed to be plastic that kind of locks this into place, but they yanked it out and destroyed that. So yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and see. I think that's what they broke. I'm going to show the other part. So you have the USB port, headphone jack here. This cable runs along, connects here. You have the trackpad or touchpad connector here. That latch flips up and then you can pull that out, but I'm going to leave that in and latch that back down. All right, what else? You got the CPU is soldered to the motherboard. You can't upgrade or replace that unless you have some really special tools to do it. There's some video memory here, I'm pretty sure. I don't know why that's there on its own. You see there could be more here, wireless card here. One screw, it pops up like the M.2 SSD. If you want to take the antennas out, you pull up from the tails. I have videos showing that on other laptops, so I don't want to take it out because I don't need to. You got the DC jack or charge port connector here, which runs along and plugs over here. If you need to remove that one screw, you can flip the hinge up slightly and then you can take that out. Then you got the LCD LVDS connector. If you're gonna mess with this cable, make sure you disconnect this battery first, and then you wanna actually press and hold the power button for 15 seconds with the computer kind of somewhat assembled. Or I guess you can also press and hold this button 15 seconds. And then you can go ahead and remove this cable. This one you just like pull up on it. All right, fan connectors right there, fans here. Looks like there's just 2 screws holding it. But yeah. Let's go ahead now and try and reassemble this with the keyboard connector in the right way, and hopefully that will work. All right, so how this works is this thing is supposed to be slid out just slightly. You see this, it's not supposed to go all the way out. This left side, it kind of locks there. That's how it's supposed to be. So it's supposed to come out about that much. All right, not much more. And then we're gonna get this cable back in if we can. All right, that's gonna be tough. All right, so I'm gonna have to hold this slightly out, and then we can kind of get this cable in, kind of. All right, so once you get that cable in, hold that in place, and then you can slide this mechanism back. And what that does is it shoves that plastic piece underneath the cable and pushes that up against the pins underneath here. All right, and now if you try and pull this cable, you can see it's kind of stuck, and that's how it should be. All right, so that's most likely fixed, assuming they just messed up the keyboard. And let's see about this piece. So the battery, I just kind of want to see if it will just come out easily or if it's going to be a pain. So battery, okay, so you kind of just rotate it and you see it pops out like that. Not too bad. And then you can pull this out by kind of using your fingernails and kind of wiggling it just like the other cable. But I'm just going to put this back because I don't want to mess with that. Let's zoom out. Let's get a screenshot here. Okay, get this all into view. Stop shaking, please. All right, so we'll get this. There we go. And let's go ahead and put this thing back together. So, very straightforward. I think we didn't really take much out. Oh, the CD drive does have the connector here, so you can get the extra adapter or hard drive caddy, whatever, CD drive adapter, and you can put 2 2.5-inch SATA drives as well as the M.2 PCIe NVMe. So that's very nice. All right, let's flip this over and get this back into place. So just line this back up. Okay, somewhat a little bit tricky. Just kind of, oh, these ports all stick out here, so you actually have to go at an angle this way. Make sure the ports get in. Okay, let me see if I can show you this. Right, so you want to make sure to line those ports up into the slots there. Once you get that, then you can go ahead and snap all of that in. So that's a little bit of a trick. Then we get this line back up and then pinch the 2 pieces together just like that with my fingers. Okay. All right, and then let's just go ahead and get all these screws back in. So we got this one here. Okay, this one here. All right, let's put the RAM back in. Goes like this. Click that in. Okay, this one at this angle. Click that in. All right, M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD goes in at an angle. Come on. There's some dirt on it. Okay. Get that in. All right, clicks into place. Is that plastic supposed to be under there? Let's see. So this one would go here. Huh. Okay, well, I don't know why this plastic was under there, but it looks like it helps, so I'll just put it in there again. That's kind of weird. Yeah, okay, well, I'm pretty sure most laptops won't have this little broken plastic thing here, but it was there, so I'm just going to put it back. Okay, we can put this tape back over the keyboard thing. Not that it's needed, but we'll just do it. Okay. Perfect. All right, let's get the hard drive back in. put this side in first, slightly over to this direction, drop this down into place, and then use this to slide it. If that's broken, you could always slide it by pushing this, or you can use a screwdriver in here to kind of help you guide it, just like that. Okay, there we go. Very nice and simple. Let's go ahead and close this bottom cover back up. So to put this thing back on, kind of have to work it somewhat at an angle. Okay, just like this. Get that in, get this in. Okay, just like that. There we go, perfect. And let's go ahead now and get the rest of the screws back in. So we'll start with the top. It doesn't really matter which ones you do first, but let's go ahead and do those. Okay, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this. Just got to get all these screws back in and we should be good to go. All right. Hopefully that was the problem. We'll find out in a bit once I get all these screws back in. We're going to try and power it up. It was showing the charging light, so I know for sure it's detecting the charger, so that's good. All right, and yeah, let's get all these screws. Okay, it's a lot of screws to put back. Usually if you're just testing, you actually can leave the screws out. Just put a few. I would recommend putting at least the ones back here where the hinges are, so that way there's less stress when you open and close the screen. Okay, but yeah, other than that, no special rules. All right, nothing needs to go in a specific order, except for you do need to put these screws before you put this, and then you need to put that before you put this screw. So all right, okay, let's get all these back in. Perfect. I don't know why this screw is so tight here, but it is. Okay, almost done. Only 6 screws to go. All right, go. All right, we got 2 more down here. There we go, and last one here. All right, and let's go ahead now, flip it over and see if it powers up. Okay, everything looks good. Make sure everything is snapped in. Power button, and I do see a blue light, so I think we are good. I just heard a weird sound. Is that their fan doing weird things, or did I do something weird? Okay, it went on and it shut off, most likely because the BIOS is resetting. You see this blue light, and you see the screens coming up, and it shut back off. So I think it's just doing the BIOS reset, and yeah, looks like we're good to go. So we're gonna give this a bit, make sure it boots up, but that should be it. Their keyboard was connected improperly. I don't know how, but they broke that latch. They didn't say anything about pulling that cable out. So yeah, let me move this out of the way in case there's the username in the bottom left corners. It's doing some updates right now, but that's a good sign. I think we are fixed. Hopefully, again, they didn't damage the keyboard cable, because if they did, you'd basically have to replace this whole top piece, I think. I didn't check, but I'm assuming for this model, this keyboard is held in with plastic rivets. In some cases, it's held in with lots of little screws, like all between like multiple, like here, like that. But usually it's plastic rivets, so you end up having to replace this whole top palm rest assembly. Excuse me. But anyways, it looks like it's good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. I do this all the time. This is what I actually do for a living. And I'm actually, this business actually eats into my YouTube, actually eats into my business. I've had customers that say, hey, are you the one that made that video? And yeah, so anyways, here you can see it's on, so I'm just gonna shut it down and we should be good to go. All right. Okay, thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.